Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We got another video for you guys today regarding a new tool that I picked up and purchased actually off of Amazon. And I believe this unit shipped from overseas in Europe, and it is the Facom 501A. And this is their locking jaw plier set, much like a vice grip. And as you see here, here's a bunch of vice grips that I have. And you can see the designs. We did a video on this one actually recently from Knipex. Great set. Nice adjustable lower jaw. If you want to learn more about it, go back just a couple weeks. You'll see a video on this. Milwaukee's. You've got your vice grips of old, vice grips of new, Kobalt, and Engineer. And we'll get into this one here actually here in a little bit too to discuss. We did do a dedicated video on this one a while back as well. So if you want to learn more about this, feel free to go back and look up that video, because also a very unique locking plier set. Let's open it up and we'll start explaining the benefits of this, why it's unique, why it's nice, and maybe why you should pick it up. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright, so here we have it. It is the Facom, and it is made in France, so overseas, and they actually forge in the 501A part number into the lower jaw. Now, from first glance, it looks kind of similar to what we have here. A lot of these American companies or German, it looks very similar in that it has a locking jaw set. But what makes this unique are several attributes, and we'll go with the first obvious one. Is this jaw and its design actually has multiple curvatures to it. So this is very similar to these locking jaws, but it's a very longer transition. And then this lower jaw set has a very much of a wave sign to it, and you could see that you could change the grasp depending on, well, how things get locked inside there. You also notice too that this jaw down here is going to be forged, whereas this up here is stamped steel. Now, construction, they say, is chromoly. And I do like that they have a little bit of texture here in the handle for, I don't know that you're necessarily going to be gripping. It's kind of on the sides, but it does give a little bit of aesthetic look to it. To disengage is just going to be a finger button here. I do like that they do give you a little bit of jimping there, so you can get some tractive effort, and you just push in and it releases. And the harder things get, it does become a little bit harder to release, but you can still release it. So not much of a problem there. And that's unique because a lot of these designs that you see here are going to be a push, a pull, or a pull. A lot of them are on the outside here where your hand is. And I don't know how about you guys, but I've pinched my fingers plenty enough times with these and don't love it. This design I like. It's also worth noting too that this is going to be a little bit more exposed. So if you have this onto something, you bump it, there's a chance that you could pop it off. So note that that sticks out. It makes it a little bit more challenging. Now, what I do also like about this is the fact that this is a one-hand use locking plier set. Now, for you guys in the field that use these a lot, it is nice to be able to do this with one hand, especially if you're trying to hold on to something and tighten it down. And that being said, the way you do it one-handed is you just spin with this one hand, tighten or loosen. You could do it with just one finger too. Although when it's fully open, it can tend to bite, but you could just pinch it with the back two fingers and spin as needed right here. Grab it, clasp it, lock it in place. That I really like, because if you try to do that with, say, any of these, right, you got it open. Okay, well, how do I? You can't. You got two hand, tighten it, check, come back. And then you also, some guys really like to do the whole put a screwdriver or another wrench on the end, tighten it up once it's already tight. Yeah, why not do that ahead of time? Just get it to the tightness that you need. Right, tighten it up, get it there, and squeeze, lock it, all done. All one hand. Okay, and now for the last feature that I really like about this locking plier set is the fact that you have an adjustable jaw here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 positions. So, and it's the part I wish was a little bit better. I wish you could pull and this is, if Facom, if you're watching, please, I would like to see an ability to pull down and allow this to unlatch it and go across. However, there are several other methods. You could take your fingers, which I don't love this method, and slide open or slide closed. Actually, once you have it open, you can't just grab it by the jaw down here and then slide it closed to where you want it, or to open it too. So squeeze closed, pull open, or so if you grab onto this arm, grab onto the jaw up here, push in while pulling down and out, you could pull it open and then use your fingers to close it back up. So that is a little bit quicker, but yeah, you can just grab the jaw, adjust it as needed. That part, yeah, it does require just a little bit more finesse. But that being said, I mean, you get a lot of open positions here. So I mean, fully open, I mean, you're looking at, this is locked, and I'm not even fully loose on this either. You can loosen it up quite a bit. We give you guys a full open measurement. Not that that's going to be something you're really going to. It's a little bit past parallel. 5. You could go probably 5.5 inches worth of grabbing something this way. Now, if you want to go back to parallel or close to parallel, let's use that because that's going to be a more accurate grab. That's going to be pretty close. You'll be able to grab something with that in the deeper set part of the jaw. So that being said, you're coming in at closer to 4 inches. So you can grab onto something 4 inches and have a good grasp. We could use this here as an example too. We'll just get it open to where we want it. That one, and then we'll grab. And once again, you could one-handed tighten this up to where we want it. Release, lock it back up. Now you're on. You can pick where you want the jaw to set too. If you want to have it on the hump, if you want to have it deep inside, if it allows it, you can let it slide all the way down inside there. And then use the back side of the throat to hold it in place. And guess what? That is on tight. And it's worth mentioning too that these teeth are going to be heavy serrations. They're actually done quite well. Yeah, they're done quite well. And some of you guys might be noticing right now here too that there's a V cut into this lower jaw. And that is going to be for if you're trying to grab onto round materials or maybe say round fasteners. So we'll go back down to the first setting. I'll try to do this all with one hand for you guys real quick. There you go. In there nice and tight. Maybe not tight enough. It can move just a little bit right now. Let's give it a little bit more pressure. That's a little too tight. Oh, it's really tight now. All right, that's not going anywhere. And that's nice too, because that helps align. If you're trying to go straight onto a bolt or what have you, a fastener, that line, that V groove helps to line it up perfectly straight. So nice addition there. It is also worth noting too that this upper jaw that's looks like it's press fitted in here with this rivet, and then you have yourself a roll pin. I don't understand the roll pin. I mean, granted, if this rivet's in here, it's going to take a lot of that pressure here, and then it's as you press down, it's going to push this forging into the casting outwards. So, I mean, initially I was worried that wouldn't take the pressure, but there's not any pressure that's going to be on that. All the pressure is going to be physically on the stamped part. So that's, I mean, that works. I would like to see them do another rivet there just for peace of mind, but I mean, you got rivets all throughout here. Nice pressed rivets. Yeah, no complaints about the construction. This is nice. Good curvature to the bottom too. You'll notice here as well, you got a little lanyard loom or hook spot. Yeah, nice compact. Could they make them a little bit longer? Potentially. Now, this isn't the only design, too. Facom has a couple other designs, a little bit shorter jaw version. This was kind of a mid-jaw. I think they have a slightly larger jaw one as well. But I think for me, this covers all my bases, because if I want to go up to 4 inches or go all the way down to nothing, that's nice and tight now. Let's see how well that works to try to release. Oh, yeah, you can still release that. That's not too bad. But say I want to go all the way down and grab onto some sheet metal. Again, let's do it one-handed. We got it here. All right, open. Get a little quarter turn. One-handed again. But yeah, you could get a good purchase on something nice and small. And yeah, it goes through the whole gambit. And I like too that it has a narrow jaw, because who doesn't need to get into tight places sometimes? So by comparison, it is narrower up here at the nose. Even though it has that larger lower jaw, it's narrower, it has a deeper throat. Guys, I'm having a hard time seeing the downsides to this. Even in comparison to using some of these clamps, these other vice grip clamps, they're used for holding onto items that you're welding or material where you need to have a nice little pinch, right? Say this is on your workshop or table. These work great for that. Well, this is going to be able to do the same thing too, but in a slightly different regard. Open it up all the way, and then go ahead and tighten this down. You can actually use your hand too and just slide it like so. But the idea is going to be much the same in that you could come in and grasp around stuff. Well, granted, it's not that wide of a throat or opening, but guess what, guys? It's not too far off in function to be able to do it this way. And you're doing it all in one tool, guys. You don't need to have this one and that one and this one necessarily, although I love this one. I think this is a great tool. Or even this one. And that's where the engineer is unique, is it's been one of the few that actually has the ability to grab onto screws, small versions of fasteners. And I think this still has its place for smaller fasteners. But if we want to take this unit and grab onto some smaller fasteners, so say for instance we got these screws here and we want to tighten up on them. There you go. Now we're on it. I could tighten it or loosen it, or getting a purchase on it. This stainless steel bolt is a little bit of a pain. It's been munched up. There you go. Got on it. And now we're loosening it. Okay, real quick before we finish this video, I wanted to put both of these on as tight as I possibly could to see which one does a better job at twisting and not slipping. So we got them both on here. Let's take a look and watch which one slips. All right. So, and I figured that this has dual teeth on both the top and bottom versus this one just has the tooth on the top and it's a smooth edge in between. So engineer still stronger at biting and twisting. Guys, it does exactly what all of these really do, including that one, and it grabs on a large pipe, and which none of these can do. And if you got something large you gotta grab onto, guys, it does it all in one. It's actually a really good plier set. And I don't know why I haven't found it till now, but I think it's definitely worth your time. And money-wise, I'm gonna admit it's a little bit up there for price. I got this on a Black Friday sale for like $55. Right now they're trending about $70 some odd. So you could put in your cart, wait, maybe this goes back down to $50 some odd. I had to wait for a little bit, or get it now, and they're going to be $70 to $80. If you want the larger ones, they go above $100 each. But guys, I mean, just look at this. This thing is a beauty. It is a very nice tool, and the versatility that you're going to get out of this versus any of these other locking plier sets, no comparison. I mean, this Knipex is close in that it has that rotating lower jaw, so you can kind of get in there and grab a hold of things, but again, it's going to be more so on the smaller scale of things. So, yeah, great buy. Hop on Amazon if you're interested, grab one. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you guys already have one of these? What is your experience? Or do you have something else, one of these that you really like? Maybe you've adapted it to work, or maybe you found something else in the tool marketplace that meets your needs, that you guys like even more. I'd love to hear about it. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you.